everybody. So we are inside right now in my spare bedroom that I have set up as my indoor seed starting room to talk about indoor seed starting. So it is still pretty early in the year. It is March. It is technically still winter where I am, and we just finished getting rid of our last dump of snow. So I am getting ready to start my outdoor plants, and the ones that are not going to be direct seeded, because I'm just starting to do some outdoor seeding, they're getting started indoors in this greenhouse, which is right behind me. So if you're going to be getting into indoor seed starting, I highly recommend getting something like a small indoor plastic greenhouse like this. You can get away with like a seeding tray with a humidity dome on top if you're doing a small amount of seeds, but with the amount that I was doing and with the amount that I am kind of upgrading to for this year as I'm really increasing production outside, I needed something like this. So you can find setups like these brand new online for about $100 starting, but I highly recommend checking for used first, like on places like Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace. I found this one off Facebook for $60, and it was the greenhouse, and the guy threw in his light and his fan. So that was a pretty screaming deal. So before I just show you what I've got in there so far, I'll go over the bits and bobs and the pieces and parts of what this is. So this is kind of like your bare bones setup for getting really into seed starting indoors for, your own kind of backyard production. So you kind of want to obviously start with your greenhouse here. You're going to need some type of light because as soon as your seeds pop out of the ground, they are going to be stretching for light. If you do not have a proper light setup, the day they germinate, they could already be too stretched by the time you get that light on them. So have a light setup ready to go when you're seeding. So I've just got a small LED panel. It's a little bit hard to see in there. I'm not 100% sure on the specs. It came with this greenhouse. I have a bigger 1,000-watt LED panel that I was planning to use for this, but this one seems to be working okay. So I'm just staying with the smaller panel for now, and I'll upgrade if I need to. The other thing that you're going to need is something to monitor your temperature and your humidity. In a seeding type of environment, you want to create a microclimate that is much more humid than the normal outside environment. So you want something to be able to monitor that, and obviously you want to be able to keep track of the air temperature as well. So this is kind of a basic, definitely need to have. The other thing that I have in here is a heat mat. I'm planning on getting a few more of these, but these are pretty integral. Seeding, you generally require a little bit warmer soil temps than are available to you at the time of the year you're seeding. So this helps increase the seeding temps to, I have that set for 25 right now. This is the other part of it. It's a thermostat that this plugs into. It's just heating up right now, so you can see you might be able to see on the video, it says it's about 20, almost 23 right now, so it'll heat up to 25. This will stay under the seeding tray, and it's got a little probe that you can stick in your soil, and once that reads your desired temperature, it'll shut off, and it'll click on and off as it needs to as the temperature goes up and down. So having a heat mat, you don't absolutely need it, but having a heat mat to improve your soil temp will greatly speed up your rate of germination and just kind of how quickly everything starts popping up. So that's a huge help. The other thing that I just have in here right now is water. I use just a real easy dollar store mister. Just one of those, fill up, pump, and then mist until it's out of pressure. These things are great. You don't want a heavy water stream on top of your seeds or seedlings, and so you have to have something that can kind of regulate that flow a little bit better than a watering can. So something that you can put onto like a finer mist setting is great for just when they're starting out. So that's pretty much everything that I have going so far in terms of the actual setup. It's very simple. It only costs maybe, once you kind of have everything, if I was buying everything brand new, I would probably put this setup at about $250. What is going to cost the most is really, after the actual greenhouse itself, is going to be your light. So depending on what you want to do for a light source, you can bring that down a little bit, or the price could greatly increase if you really want to start adding more lights to this thing. So on top of that, we will go into what I've got started right now. So in these little pots right now, unfortunately over the winter, the area that I was storing all my seedling trays kind of ended up getting some damage. So I need to get some more seedling trays. So I'm actually starting broccoli in these guys right now. It's not the ideal setup. I would want something a little bit smaller for the roots to really form a nice compact root ball. But this will be fine for now. The thing that you can see behind the broccoli currently is that's just some old seeds. Those are actually old spinach seeds that I threw in just to see if they would still germinate from a few years ago, but they're stretched as hell, so I'm not actually planting those. What I'm actually going to be planting from this tray is there are a bunch of red onions. They were germinated at the beginning of February, so they'll be staying in here for a little bit longer, and then in about 2 weeks time, I'm going to start hardening them off, and then they'll eventually, by April, mid-April, they're going to be in the ground. In this tray, which has not germinated yet, and it's actually where I have my heating mat currently set up. You know what? I am not going to bother trying to finish around with that right now. That is my peppers and tomatoes. Peppers and tomatoes are a warm season crop. They absolutely benefit from having the heat mat. So they are started early in March where I live, and they get as much benefit from the heat mat and the greenhouse environment as possible. So that's what I've got going on for indoor seating right now. Just wanted to show you the setup, how I'm going about it, and kind of just, how simple the parts are, and, just how it all works together. So soon we're going to be going outside. I'm going to be showing you what I've got seating outdoors, and yeah, and then we'll get to it. Hey everybody, I just want to give you a better view of the inside of the greenhouse because I know in that last part of the video it was hard to see. It's a bit hard to film in this room, hence the vertical format of that part of the video. I do apologize. So yeah, I will just be giving y'all a inside shot of the greenhouse, and you guys can get a closer look at everything. Alright, so here is a better look at the interior of the seed starting greenhouse that you guys saw in the beginning part of my video. So yeah, it was a little bit hard to film in here, so I'm just giving you guys a better view. So there are the broccoli pots, and they've just started germinating as of this morning. There's the onions, and they're going to be staying in here for a couple more weeks. Then I'm going to be hardening them off, and then hopefully in April, they will be going outside in the ground. That is the tray of tomatoes and peppers. They have not germinated yet, and as you can see, I have placed the heating mat back underneath, and that's going to be staying there until they pop out of the ground or out of the tray. And that is connected. That is the soil temperature probe. It is connected to this thermostat up here. That's still heating up to 25. When it hits 25, it'll shut off. And then there's the fan, which is not on yet. Kind of once the broccoli and once the tomatoes and peppers kind of fully germinate and pop out of their trays, I'll be turning that on for some ventilation and airflow and just air circulation. And then there is, oh, it's bright as hell right now, but there is the LED panel that I got with the tent. And yeah, again, I don't really know the specs on that panel. It was free. It came with this tent. But I have another 1,000-watt that if that one proves not powerful enough, even though it seems to be doing quite a good job, I'll be switching to the bigger panel. So yeah, that is the interior of the mini greenhouse. Just wanted to give you guys a better look. One more note is after this video, this will be getting closed right here. That's just the flap. Keep it closed to keep as much humidity in as possible. And yeah, that's the rest of the setup. Alright everybody, so I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you got something out of it and you learned something and you can put it to use. And whatever you do today, you are amazing. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, but whatever you do, you are still awesome, and have a great day.